Hi, it's Alek from 88 Grains, and today we are going to roast next coffee of the month. And this time it will be Costa Rican H1. This is the variety that some people are kind of aware and not willing to buy it for some reason. But in today's video, we are going to show you how to roast it, and we'll tell more about the variety itself. So let's move on.
Okay, so our roaster is ready to charge. And as usual, we are starting with 600 grams of coffee. And today we'll try a slightly different approach, which is actually so-called pyramid, which means that we'll slowly add the power or gas settings on your roaster. And we are starting with P5. And after a minute of roast, we'll add 2 more and then even more to get up to the temperature and to develop the beans slightly slower. It's always a good habit to mark our roasts and just to remember which one is which. And there we go to P7. So as I mentioned, many of you are afraid for some reason to buy this H1 variety. Sometimes you might find it as Centro Americana. It's a different name for the same variety, and it's usually planted in Central America, but not too often in Costa Rica. So it's pretty rare coffee to have H1 variety from Costa Rica, especially washed. Tell you more about the variety itself. It's medium large beans with very high yielding plants, so they are giving us many fruits, and we turn the heat up to 9, and we will hold it there for a while. The quality potential of the coffee is very high. I think that the reason why it's so high, it's the mix of the varieties that actually goes into this hybrid. This hybrid is a cross between Ethiopian Sudan Rume, which you may know from Sasa Sesi's presentations on World Barista Championships, and rust-resistant T5296 variety, which will make the coffee resistant to coffee leaf rust. Actually, that was the main reason to create this variety. And in comparison to different varieties that grows in Central America, it's the production increase actually, so the yield is like 22 to 47% higher than any other. And if it's grown on a high altitudes, it can show very high quality potential. So the main issue with this variety for it's actually the breeding. So there is no possibility to do it by yourself. It has to be done as a cloning, so there's no other way to grow this variety rather than planting clones of the same bean, of the same plant. And as I mentioned, it's very highly resistant to coffee leaf rust, so it's pretty safe. And we are in a peak of our roast, so we'll start to decrease the energy. We are on P5 at the moment. And the other thing is that it requires very high nutritions, so the farmers need to add many nutritions to make this to make it work actually. And what is also interesting for me, to be honest, is that the cherry to green bean ratio in terms of weight is pretty high. So there's more beans per weight of the cherries. We are getting very nicely declining rate of rise, and soon we will be changing to P7 at 165 as far as I think. Yes, there we have it. And this variety is very new on the market, so it's grown commercially for like last 15 years maximum. So the best examples of this variety actually are grown at this moment. And don't be afraid, as I mentioned, the quality potential is very high, so it's a very good coffee for your single origin filter coffees or espressos. And we are going down with the energy again to P6. We are getting closer to our first crack, so we are like 8 degrees before. Yeah, getting ready for marking first crack. Let us know down in the comments if you're interested in this kind of information about the varieties we are roasting and we are taking care of, so we can provide you more information. And there we have the first crack. Rate of rise is declining, but it's on pretty high level at the moment, so we are running about around 10 degrees per minute. Really enjoy when the first crack happens in round numbers like 8 or 7 or 9 minutes, so it's easy to calculate anything later. Now it's time to check the color more and more often to get the required color for our brewing method we are going to use. development on this variety will be quite longer than usual we do. Now we're getting closer to the end. Now rate of rise dropped dramatically at the end of the roast, and there we have it. So this is our approach to roasting H1.
Okay, so it's been a couple of days. We are in a slightly different place. Today we are in my home, and we are going to brew the Costa Rican H1, and we'll do it exactly the way I do it at my home, so just for myself. So we're going to use V60. This is the ceramic dripper, and we'll start off with rinsing the filter. And the ratio we're going to use today is going to be 17 grams of coffee for 250 grams of water. Whoops. Yeah, that's exactly 17. And the water we are using today is just tap water, filtered with classic Brita filter. I think it's like Filtra Max or something like that. More intense one. And we'll start with 50 grams of water for pre-infusion, and we'll wait 30 seconds, and then we'll add 50 grams of water every 15 seconds. It's good to stir the slurry during pre-infusion, so all the grounds will get evenly wet. I usually start to pour on the outside and then plus 15 to 10 grams of water, just a center pour. To actually speed up the flow rate of the coffee, so it will bring out more of those fruity flavors. And now we are adding the last part. This usually gives me quite short brew times, around 2 to 2:30, 2 minutes to 2:30 seconds. And on the last pour, it's good to stir once more. Smells nice, kind of fruity. We have 2 minutes and 10 seconds on my timer, and we are about to finish the brewing. Load it a little. We'll see. Next time, I'll just crank coarser, but it should do the job anyway. There we have it. All done. And now start with the aroma. There's some kind of yellow stone fruits, maybe slightly tropical, but also notes of like cocoa. Let's see how it tastes. This is one of my favorite cups recently. It's La Blue Old. It's really nice to hold. So it has more sweetness than I expected, to be honest. I thought it would be more acidic, but the balance is great. There is some fruity notes, and I assume that they will get even better when the coffee will cool down, or will grind slightly coarser next time. Yeah, there is still some stone fruits like peach, um, kind of tropical, slightly citrusy, and then there's like a huge background of chocolate, very fine chocolate, some caramels, and it also has like some florally aftertaste. The aftertaste maybe it's more like black tea, um, but the front floralness is more like Ethiopian. Mm. That's a great coffee, and just enjoy it. Cheers.